The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction. This is D. Elizabeth Glasgow, and I'm your lecturer for this series. Today we're going to talk about Walter Benjamin and his work, The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction. Walter Benjamin, a German Jewish philosopher, profoundly influenced contemporary thought with his insights on how capitalism affects art, politics, and society. Born into a well-off family in Berlin in 1892, Benjamin later endured poverty and hardship. Gustav Weineken, an educational reformer he met at a boarding school, significantly shaped his early thinking. Weineken edited Der Anfang, The Beginning, a radical youth journal championing the ideas of German philosophers like Hegel, Goethe, Kant, and Nietzsche. Benjamin pursued his philosophy studies at the universities of Freiburg, Berlin, Munich, and Bern, earning his Ph.D. in 1919. In Munich, Benjamin's friendship with philosopher Gershom Scholem introduced him to Jewish mysticism. His intellectual journey gained momentum in 1923 with the inception of the Institute for Social Research. Here, he encountered philosophers Theodor Adorno and Georg Lukács, whose works, especially Lukács' Theory of the Novel, 1920, heavily influenced his writings. Forced to relocate to Paris after the Nazis rose to power and revoked his German citizenship, Benjamin wrote the initial version of The Work of Art in late 1935. The Institute for Social Research, having moved from Frankfurt to New York City to escape Nazi persecution, published a modified French translation. To avoid alienating the more capitalist-leaning American audience, the editors excluded references to Karl Marx. The most commonly read version today is the one Benjamin revised in 1939, amid the looming chaos of World War II and shortly before his suspected suicide while escaping the Gestapo. This revised version remained unpublished in English until 1968. In The Work of Art, Walter Benjamin challenged traditional art criticism's focus on elements like creativity and genius, eternal value, and mystery. He argued these were becoming obsolete due to two key developments. Firstly, the advent of new art forms like photography and film, which offered collective viewing experiences distinct from those of painting or theater. And secondly, the rise of fascism in Europe, which utilized artistic and theatrical techniques to sway public opinion. Benjamin posited that audiences familiar with film were less prone to be swayed by the grandiose displays employed by fascist leaders, which were designed to manipulate public opinion and divert attention from social disparities. He saw film as an antidote to what he termed the aestheticization of politics, as it fostered a type of distraction that could help people resist propaganda. To better understand art's role in this new technological era and its potential for revolution, Benjamin introduced alternative concepts. These ideas, he asserted, were starkly different from traditional art theory terms and were ineffective for fascist purposes. Conversely, he believed these concepts were instrumental in developing revolutionary strategies within the realm of art politics. Historically, it was believed that an artwork's reception and interpretation remained constant, regardless of when or where it was viewed, making its value and meaning immutable. However, theorists like Walter Benjamin considered the various social, cultural, and political factors influencing an artwork's creation. They recognized that an artwork's meaning and reception are dynamic, evolving over time, and thus open to new interpretations. Benjamin, particularly in the context of mechanical reproduction, saw art as a medium through which the past could be reinterpreted by the present. He argued that film, for example, could give new meaning to Shakespeare's plays, affecting the interpretation of the original text. This fluidity of past and present suggested to Benjamin the possibility of change. He believed that by reorganizing the use of technology, not just in art creation, but also in challenging oppressive regimes, significant transformations could occur. Although Benjamin's essay initially had limited impact, its influence grew substantially from the late 1960s onwards, profoundly affecting art criticism, cultural studies, and literary theory. His ideas in The Work of Art laid the groundwork for John Berger's Ways of Seeing, 1977, Susan Sontag's On Photography, 1977, and a broad range of criticism related to 20th century literature and art, especially in their connections to politics and technology. Now let's look at the essay in its context. The Work of Art defies easy classification, merging concepts from various disciplines to question how we should discuss art, politics, and culture. Dominant influences in the text include Western Marxism, Dada, Surrealism, and Futurism. Drawing on Karl Marx's political theories, Marxist critics examine cultural phenomena in relation to the material conditions that create them, focusing on how capitalism influences our interactions with people, places, and things. Building on Marx's concept of commodity fetishism, where human relations in a capitalist society become transactional, Georg Lukács argued that capitalism places more value on objects than on the people who produce them. Benjamin's essay expands on Lukács's ideas, but diverges in recognizing the radical opportunities presented by the loss of an artwork's aura. Benjamin stated, "The history of every art form shows critical epochs in which a certain art form aspires to effects which could be fully obtained only with a changed technical standard. Dadaism attempted to create by pictorial and literary means the effects which the public today seeks in the film." Benjamin's essay explores critical questions such as, how do the technological reproduction methods available in the early 20th century change the way art is produced and received, and what are the political implications of these changes? During a period dominated by fascism, in public and scholarly discourse, Walter Benjamin's The Work of Art addressed largely unexplored questions, making his essay notably original. Benjamin sought to understand the evolving nature of what he termed the aura of artworks, examining its relationship with technology and historical context. Benjamin asserted, "That which withers in the age of mechanical reproduction is the aura of the work of art." Though Benjamin didn't explicitly define aura, his essay linked it to art's historical connections with rituals of the church or monarchy, its cult value, and to traditional notions of authenticity and autonomy attributed to great artworks. He observed that reproduction, such as in books or postcards, diminishes the uniqueness of an artwork's specific location, a place people travel to see. Reproduction allows modern artworks to be recontextualized, hung on a wall, sent to someone far away, or placed alongside coffee advertisements, democratizing art. Moreover, technologies have introduced art forms like film and photography, where no unique or original object exists. All copies are equal. Benjamin remarked, earlier much futile thought had been devoted to the question of whether photography is an art. The primary question, whether the very invention of photography had not transformed the entire nature of art, was not raised. Benjamin's essay engages with two sets of established ideas. First, it challenges traditional art criticism's view of art as an autonomous entity, separate from everyday material realities. This perspective saw art as reflecting its context while transcending it through its uniqueness, possessing an eternal, unchanging value that affirmed its authenticity. This idea of aura isolated the artwork from its subsequent contexts. The second set is Western Marxism, a term coined by philosopher Maurice Merleau-Ponty, referring to the interpretations of Marx's ideas in Western and Central Europe. Benjamin's essay critically examines both capitalism and art history, showing how traditional views of art bolster capitalism and fascism. His focus on cultural production, aligning with thinkers he engaged with, diverges from formal art techniques. In Part 2, we will explore key themes of Walter Benjamin's The Work of Art in the Age of Mechanical Reproduction, its criticisms, and its contemporary relevance. This is a university quick course. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe.